We couldn't come up with a fun intro this week, so, well, Nova, let's just say hi to people. Nova, she says hi. She's been playing Mercenaries, and, well, let's see what this week in Hearthstone's got for us. Let's get to the news. Say hello.
Let's get salty!
Everyone, and welcome to the 60th edition of This Week in Hearthstone, where we go over the news and events in the Hearthstone world in the past week. And, well, there was a significant occurrence this week. Kind of had a new mode, Mercenaries launch. So our top story this week, we will talk about Kripp kind of quitting Mercenaries already and talking about why he feels the mode is kind of in big trouble and he doesn't know how Blizzard's going to get out of it. Our second story, we'll talk about the coming of a patch. We got a patch coming this week. What will it have? Will we finally find out about the mini set? We'll speculate. We'll talk about it. We also have the return of the talk of the Tavern segment while Grandmasters is kind of in the off season right now, where I'll highlight a content creator I feel you should check out, as well as the Mailbag segment where I answer your questions. So the first top story was the Mercenaries launch, everything going on. And, you know, I had my review of it. I've been playing it every day since it launched. I believe I have nearly 6,000 MMR, literally just farming bots for XP to level up my guys. But hey, it works. You can abuse that and maybe we'll make a video on that. I don't know. By the way, let me know in the comments below. Do you guys want Mercenaries content? I know it's not doing particularly well on YouTube, unless I think Raren's doing well with it. But do you guys want me to cover more Mercenary stuff? We'll cover this story, but let me know. Do you want more Mercenaries? I originally had an idea of like top 10 ways to improve Mercenaries, because again, we're critically minded around here. We like to talk about that stuff, but maybe we can give it a go. Anyways, back to the story. You guys can let me know. Anyways, so yeah, it's been doing okay on YouTube and Twitch in terms of metrics. Trump's been doing really well streaming it on Twitch. Kripp was doing okay. He was basically pulling regular numbers. Myself, I streamed it, actually did pretty well. And on YouTube, the numbers are like pretty hit and miss. Yeah, like I said, Raren's doing pretty well. Trump, Regis, both kind of iffy, but regardless, you know, there is interest in it and people are playing it, and I get a lot of comments while I'm streaming asking about Mercenaries, and yeah, it's done pretty well. But Kripp, you may know him, pretty well-known Hearthstone streamer, played the living daylights out of Mercenaries. He leveled up literally every character to 30, like all 50 Mercenaries, and then dived into PvP and quit that like the next day. He's back to Battlegrounds, and I was watching his stream, I was listening to his take, and I thought it was really kind of interesting and actually pretty scary for the mode, what he felt the main problem is for it. I'll link his VOD below. You can hear his takes in his own words in case I somehow take anything out of context or I screw up what he said. I don't want to play his clip and steal his content, but I quoted as much as I could. I took a look at as much as I could. So again, if I misquote or misinterpret anything Kripp says, you can check it out yourself. I'm not trying to speak for him or anything, but yeah, basically what he did is he played through all of PvE, got everything leveled up, and then he played PvP, got to like, you know, grind his way to higher ranks to start playing against people, and he just kept losing to Xyrella comps. Xyrella is this unit. Basically, she has one ability, it's really quick, that nullifies the attack of another mercenary on the board, effectively letting you almost get a free kill on most things, especially pair it with a card like Blade Master or Thrall. And it really just soured his experience. He felt the card was really overpowered, and it's like, well, the card's unbalanced, its original state, just nerf it, right? But that's the problem we have. This is the big problem I'm alluding to in the title, in the thumbnail, is that you can't really do balance patches in Mercenaries. His big fear is you nerf Xyrella. First off, you're going to piss off all the new players, and that, you know, you have to dive all this time to grind coins and all this stuff to get Xyrella leveled up. She is a free hero at least, right? But you have to level her up. But if you nerf any like mercenary in a Mercenaries, there's no disenchant system. There's no nerf system. There's really no way to compensate players. So his big fear is with her being so powerful and so good that without a proper like nerf disenchant system, players will just get pissed off and quit if you actually nerf that card. And for him to enjoy the PvP experience, he feels Xyrella makes that not possible because he's either got to try and hard counter it or just play it himself, and that's just not a lot of fun. So that's kind of a big issue with the Mercenaries. If something is out of control, too good, how do you do anything? Because like, what would you do to like give a reward for nerfing Xyrella? Give Xyrella coins? Well, you just nerfed her. They're not really useful. Maybe you could offer a free mercenary, but what if everyone has free mercenaries? What if you just give a bunch of coins? That like, it's so weird. Like in Hearthstone, you can just disenchant a card, get some dust back, and it feels like something. It's not great, but people can understand it. Mercenaries doesn't have a system like that, so he's really worried about it, and basically went back to Battlegrounds because he can't really enjoy that experience. So I went and I asked Team America, who we'll talk about a little bit later in another segment. He hit rank 1 on the Mercenaries leaderboards. He's currently number 2 last I saw, and I asked him, do you think Xyrella and Samuro and all that are too good, and you know, is this a problem? And he personally says at the high ranks already that those cards aren't even that prominent because people are just countering it. But it's a lot of counter queuing, it's a lot of complication, but overall he doesn't feel it's like super oppressive, but definitely very strong. And basically it seems like it's warping the meta and all of that. But regardless, it's not even so much a discussion of is it too good, it's like, can this system in Mercenaries work long term? Because they're going to add new mercenaries, and we all know with Blizzard and the way they push power level and stuff that it's very likely something will break, and there's just no system in place to fix this. So it seems like a big problem. It seems a bit worrying, and I'm curious what you guys think, if you think this is something that's problematic going down the road. And personally, I've just been using Xyrella in every build to farm my XP and all that stuff. She's pretty good. So yeah, I don't know what Blizzard will do about this, if anything, but it's something that's startling when you have someone like Kripp, at least for now, not even playing the mode going forward. Next story we have is there is a patch coming this week. Basically, confirmed, there is a patch coming this week, and basically we were able to see in like the hotfix notes to Mercenaries. You could see here that they said that they'll be correcting some of these issues in a patch next week. And well, that was last week, if you're watching this today, and that means there's a patch. There is a patch coming in. What will that entail? What will that consist of? I think I will make some predictions. I'll make some predictions. I have no insider information. These aren't leaks. It's not like some of my nerf predictions where I basically, I kind of heard beforehand and just have some fun with it. But yeah, this is just me just guessing. So yeah, we have a patch. I would anticipate probably on Tuesday. I would anticipate a mini set announcement. I have my prediction on the date. We talked about that, I think, just a few days ago. I think we'll get the dual class arena possibly live as early as that patch release. We could have like the dual class event. We'll probably have these new portraits that you can buy in the shop, like the whole like costume stuff, Halloween costume. I think there's like Red Riding Hood Jaina. I bet you that will be dropping, and maybe there'll be like a surprise balance patch. Who knows? That's the least likely, but I think we will get mini set details, maybe like the first card or something. We'll get the theme, we'll get dual class arena, and some, of course, mercenary fixes, which are solely needed. Some stuff is bugged and all of that, and maybe they'll up the matchmaking so the time isn't so bad. So yes, expect a patch this week, and of course we'll review everything when it is announced. Next, we have the Talk of the Tavern segment, where I highlight a content creator I feel you should check out, and today we're talking about Team America. We mentioned him earlier, but he's a partnered YouTuber, partnered Twitch personality. I typically try and highlight a little bit smaller, but with Mercenaries taking off, and if you're looking for really good Mercenaries content on both Twitch and YouTube, I thought I'd recommend Team America. He's, like I've already said, he's been ranked first on the leaderboards. He's got a great YouTube channel. He mainly played duels before this came out. Might go back to it. He's done everything. Really knowledgeable guy, really nice guy. And if you're looking for Mercenaries content, check him out. His Twitch and YouTube are linked below. And lastly, we have the Mailbag segment, where I answer your questions. Again, if you want to ask me a question, leave a comment in the comments below with Mailbag in the comments. So Rio Satria Weibo asks, I'm sorry if I butchered that, by the way. I do that a lot. I would like to know your opinion about this. What if instead of getting rank reward from only the highest rank among Standard, Wild, and Classic, we are rewarded for a rank in every mode? I rank Legend in Standard, Wild, so I get twice the reward. I'd love that. It'd be great. Blizzard will never do that because you get more stuff. I hit Legend on like every ladder. I'm currently Legend on Standard, Wild, and Classic right now. It would be great, but that would mean more stuff in our pockets, and probably just, yeah, they wouldn't do it. But it would be great because it would encourage people to play every mode. There'd be a reason for it, and you know, that might get player investment up, and it might actually pay out in the long run, but I don't think they're going to go down that road, unfortunately. Mr. Padlio asks, have you thought of interviewing players who qualified for the World Championships or players who contribute to the Hearthstone gaming community? This one's tough because I have my Zeddy Talks about everything series. I try and find people that people on YouTube are really familiar with, and even those videos struggle, but I love doing them. If it was like a competitive player, the vast majority of people just aren't familiar with, but if I could sneak it into This Week in Hearthstone, it'd be perfect. And I kind of kicking myself. I could have probably got Gabby and McBanterface on last week's This Week in Hearthstone, but I already had it recorded a bit early, and I thought they would do interviews, man. It just disappointed me. So maybe next time that happens and I'm friends with those two guys, I know they'd come on, that maybe I can get it done with people that'd be willing to come on, because not everybody wants to talk to this very toxic, horrible human being, of course. Anyways, Adam asked, what are your predictions for the upcoming NHL season? Why, I'm wearing a Vancouver Canucks hoodie and I doubt they'll make the playoffs. I would think maybe like Colorado or Washington or a New York team like the Islanders or Rangers possibly could win the cup this year. But my Canucks don't think so. I'd love to see Edmonton do well. I want to see Connor McDavid in the Stanley Cup Finals. That'd be really well, but I think the solid prediction is my team's probably going to suck. And lastly, Warren Paul asks, now that Worlds start at December 18th, what will happen for competitive Hearthstone till that time? Feels like such a gap. Unfortunately, it is a gap. I believe there is a Masters Tour event, I think next week or this upcoming Friday. I could be wrong on that. Don't hold me to it. But I believe there is a Masters Tour event this month. But until Worlds, there probably won't be much unless they host some kind of tournament. Like, it was nice about having like the Hearthstone Global Games and stuff like that during the winter. It would help out with that, but they really don't do much for competitive, but maybe they'll amp things up, and hopefully they will, and I'll keep you posted on that. So that's This Week in Hearthstone. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.